Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Heart Song Live Radio.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Heart Song Live Radio. You're listening to Annette with What's on Your Plate. And this morning, I'm going to dive straight into our interview with the wonderful Robert Lee.
Pleasure having me. Thank you for me having you.
Lovely. Now, I'm a little bit sketchy on how my memory is a little bit weak, and so I'm a little bit sketchy on how we actually met. But tell everyone how we actually met.
We met while I was a part of a festival program being based in Edinburgh, Scotland. It was run by a man named Giles from Brouhaha, based in Liverpool. And I believe specifically you and I met at an event that was run by Be United. We
Yes.
were spearheaded by
Be
Emma.
United in Edinburgh,
so-
for all our Edinburgh listeners.
But I also want to say, I think we met because I'm one who is always looking for opportunity. And when I spoke to you, you were one who was always looking to push your show. So I think from the moment we met each other, there was a mutual beneficial agreement that we could help each other. And you were almost like a mentor to me, taking me places. You helped
Thank
me get
you.
a bike. You remember?
Oh, I do remember that
You
one.
helped me get the
yes,
bike.
Yes.
So-
we're here for each other, and it's just a pleasure to actually be interviewing you on the show this morning. But before we get started, I'd like to take you back a little bit, and I'd like you to share with us your backstory. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for that, because it makes me think about myself. I was born in New York City, raised in between Brooklyn and the Bronx to two single parents. My mother was born in Trinidad and Tobago and left Trinidad and Tobago around 17 and spent the later years of her life in New York City, mostly the Bronx. My dad was born in Brooklyn. His father comes from Shreveport, Louisiana. His father comes from Texas. So I'm literally split down the middle with Black American and Caribbean Black culture and heritage. I feel like I'm blessed. I've had a really good upbringing. My father stressed education, so all I remember was always going to private schools or Catholic high school and stressing education, reading, writing, math, critical thinking, learning how to pull myself up by my bootstraps, and just pushing for a better life, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, as you say, you come from this lovely, rich heritage. Now, what does that mean to you yourself? What does that mean as a person?
I can't answer that question because I'm still on my journey.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm here in Barbados, because I'm on a journey to identify with my Caribbean heritage.
Yes.
So I travel to Trinidad and Tobago every year since the passing of my mother to honor her,
Yeah.
and to also find out what the Caribbean has influenced in me, because it's in my DNA, you know, being from Trinidad and Tobago, and my mother being from there, my grandfather being from there. And recently I found out that my great-grandmother and great-grandfather are from Barbados.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So the journey
well,
continues.
Yes, it does
I'm
indeed.
coming home.
That's lovely, to find out all this history, this rich history as well. But what I want to do is bring it back to you, because today you are a filmmaker. Tell us a little bit about
I'm a storyteller. I'm a creative entrepreneur. I'm someone who just wants to live a good life, an exciting life. I'm chasing adventure. I'm pursuing, but I love to just do things. I exercise. I wake up and I swim. I meditate. you know. So I really just pursue the life that I envision in my mind. I sleep, I dream, I wake up, I do what I dream. What else? I'm honoring my ancestors by pushing the heritage and the culture of who we are. A lot of who I am was instilled in me by my parents. I remember growing up, I went to many Afrocentric schools such as Cush Campus and the Nile Daycare. These type of backgrounds and these upbringings have influenced the consciousness inside of me. So I feel very conscious and aware of who we are as dark melanated people and what we must do as dark melanated people to push ourselves to be the best that we can be.
Absolutely. But what I'm hearing coming through is the creativeness. You know, this because of this rich tapestry of your heritage and everything else, it seems to be drawing on all these other elements to actually combine together to showcase themselves. So when you were growing up in school, what was your favorite direction or subjects were you interested in?
History. I've always been interested in the history of the world, the history of how societies have been created. At the same time, I have been in the arts and theater my whole life. I'm very artistic, very creative. I love to have a good time and play with myself as a theatrical person. Music. At one time, I tried to be an artist and create music. I've learned many instruments: the saxophone, the trumpet, the drum. So yeah, creativity is my life, and it also goes back to our indigenous upbringing of who we are as the dark melanated people of the world. We created everything. We created civilization. We created the first music, the first language, the first art. It all. That's who we are. We're producers.
So through your schooling and upbringing, what did you do after that, after you left education?
Well, life is education.
Yeah, it's true.
Because now, as being a filmmaker, I'm still continually educating myself on how to create documentaries, how to create short films, how to build communities, how to allow people to trust me, to give me more opportunities to do the things I want to do. I did go to college. I went to a historical black college in Virginia called Virginia Union University. It's based in Richmond. I studied history and political science. I have a lot of lawyers and doctors in my family, so the education was continually pushed on me. And at one time, I did think I was going to pursue law, maybe intellectual property, and that's still an option.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm really satisfied in this nomad, creative, Indiana Jones type person that I'm becoming. As you may have not known, we spoke about, I recently visited Ghana.
Oh, right. Okay, we're going to get to that. We don't want to spoiler now. We don't want to spoiler. But you glossed over the fact that you are a filmmaker in part of your creativity.
The funny
How
thing
do you
is,
sum yourself up?
I don't even call myself a filmmaker because we live in a world of visuals. No one's filming on film. Everyone's doing things digital. Everything is digital art. We just call ourselves filmmakers because that's what people call themselves. I'm a storyteller. I'm a visualist. I create visuals. And I'm all about visual representation of us, the dark melanated people of the world. We need better visual representations of ourselves so that we can heal ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I think that's a wonderful way. If there isn't a vehicle there at the moment, we can make it ourselves and build it ourselves. So that's actually a great start. So that actually brings me to the next point, is your choice of music. You said you dabbled in music as a musician. What sort of things have influenced you on the musical side of things?
Soul, consciousness, and healing. If your music doesn't heal you, you're listening to the wrong type of music. If your music doesn't inspire you to go out and live your best life, you're listening to the wrong type of music, I would say. So my first choice of song it's an elderly song. It's a song from a woman that came before my time. Her name is Billie Holiday. And the song is God Bless the Child. And we all know the term, God bless the child that has his own. And I live by that. As me, I'm trying to build my own empire, build my own company, build my own legacy. And I feel that I am blessed because I want my own. I don't want nothing to be given to me or just easily handed to me. I love to earn and work for everything I have. And that's why I chose this song. And also because Billie Holiday, she was a magnificent lady. She was a special woman. She influenced culture at the time. She was at the highest of the highest, and she comes from us. That's our ancestor. So we have to honor our ancestors and understand that we stand on the shoulders of these people that laid down the foundation so that we could live the lives that we're living right now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Yes, the strong gets more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grave. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Money, you got lots of friends crowding round the door. When you're gone and spending ends, they don't come no more. Rich relations give crust of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. He just don't worry about nothing, 'cause he's got his own.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Heart Song Live Radio, #1 gospel channel in Scotland. Today I have had the pleasure to be speaking with Robert Lee. Now, Robert was telling us about, his back history. He has this wealth of coming from the Caribbean, and also his family's from the Caribbean, and he was born in New York. So he has these sort of lovely backgrounds which we're trying to explore. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your creativeness, because that's really what it's all about. Before we go on to talk about why you're actually on the show today, but I'd like to show to people who may not have heard the first part, to talk about your creativity and where it comes from.
I believe creativity comes from inside. It becomes from inside either your mind or inside your spirit, inside your body, inside your soul. And it's something that you want to let out. It's an expression. You want to express yourself. You want the world to see you as you see yourself. So that is why we create. That is why I create. And just to give you another background, my full name is Robert Lee Sims III.
Ooh.
However, I like to go by Rob Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a, see, I created that. That's a alter ego of myself because I didn't want to live up to Robert Lee Sims III. That's a prestigious name. That sounds like something
It does.
big.
It does.
And Rob Lee is more laid back. It's chill. It's like, oh, there's Rob Lee. Let's go say hello. Whereas Robert Lee Sims III is like you have to be introduced to him.
Well, either way, I think it's quite good actually. Because I know you and I know where you're coming from. I think it's lovely to have this choice. Therefore, you have more options on how you want to present yourself in that respect. Whatever the mood takes you at the time, that's nice to do that. But that also just shows me the level of creativity within you, which is actually within you. And so, we're talking about you as a person and what you are trying to express. So what are you trying to express?
First, we must go on a journey to find ourselves. And as you find yourself, you're going to express. I feel like a lot of what I've expressed so far is my environment, which is New York City upbringing, New York City life, and Black American New York City life, which is highlighted through different periods of times, like the music, the culture, the fashion, the food. All those things influence everybody and they express themselves through that way. I also think about how, because I'm from New York, I always wanted to be something big. I always wanted to have my name in lights. And I remember going to school in Virginia, which is the South, but it's not deep South. And a lot of my classmates only wanted to have a good family. They wanted to just be a good man and have a good family and take care of their family. So I do believe growing up in New York City, I have been influenced to want to live this grandiose life, be grander, be bigger than life, especially New York, right? So now as I'm doing my travels and I'm on my journey, I understand it's about balance. I want to influence society. I want to add to society. At the same time, I want to be known for being a good man. I want to be known for being a good lover. I want to be known for being a humble person, a helper, someone that's of the community. Those things.
Absolutely. So yes, you're expressing yourself and finding your own feet and doing it your way, the way you want to do it, which again, this creativity is absolutely wonderful because I am trying to hold myself back because we're actually on the show today talking about your trips. You say you traveled around. What sort of places have you been to?
First of all, I traveled within America. So I remember traveling outside of my block. I grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, New York, which is a little community in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is one of the main boroughs of New York, which is Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. So the first travels were traveling outside my block, going to Harlem, going to 14th Street, Union Square, and just going to the Virgin Megastore and listening to music. And I know people will be like, oh, that's not traveling. But for a lot of us that grow up in the inner city ghettos of the world, that's how it begins. You have to leave your block. You have to leave your neighborhood. And then you gain the confidence to go bigger. So in America, many places, mostly cities like LA, but then internationally, I started traveling. I got the travel bug, and so one of the first places I always went was Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Being that I have family there and find that connection. Jamaica, my dad always loved Jamaica. As I got older and I was able to travel by myself, Paris. And I remember I loved just walking around Paris all day, just riding the trains, taking pictures of everything. London, Liverpool, Scotland, of course, where we met. Frankfurt, Germany. Ghana.
Yeah.
Senegal, Morocco, and now Barbados.
What is really interesting and I find it's really, really a good place is that when you were in America, you toured around America. So you get a general feel for different parts of America. Not that you know all of America, but at least you got a different little feel, and then you went out, you expanded, you went out to different countries. So even then, what actually drew you to these other countries? You said you were drawn to Trinidad, you were drawn to the other places because of your family. But what drew you? What element sparked you off to go to these other places?
Curiosity. Curiosity of how life is outside of America, how life is outside of city dwellings. It's all about balance. If you grow up your whole life in a city, of course you're gonna want to see how the country is, to see if you can adapt and see if you're living the best life you think you are. Because I knew that New York City, as beautiful as it is, and as amazing, and I love New York, it's not everything. There's not everything in New York City. There's not enough nature in New York City. It's a concrete jungle. So we definitely and it's comfortable. It's easy access. There's a corner store in every corner. So I wanted to see what life was outside of there. At the same time, I read the book The Alchemist. A lot of us have read that book. I spoke to myself like, wow, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm searching for something, even though it's back home. New York City is an immigrant place. Everybody who's an immigrant lives in New York City. Everybody, all the immigrants all around the world come to New York City to do business. I just saw online that 40% of people living in New York City were born outside of New York, outside of America. That's an astonishing. I got to check the fact, but that's astonishing right there. That 40% of people living in the 5 boroughs of New York City come from outside of America. So that says something about the people who grew up in New York City. We're of the world. That's why people don't want to leave, because they think the whole world is New York.
That's true. That's true. It just actually reminds me of a point. I was saying to some friends that in Edinburgh, in one of the schools in Edinburgh, I was talking to one of the teachers, and they were saying that there's about 50 different languages spoken within that school, within that playground. And when you are in an environment like that, that richness is going to be coming through. So to break out of that and to explore different places, yes, I could see where the curiosity is coming from now. We could chat about this, where you're coming from for a long time. But what I want to do is actually talk about your musical tastes as well. So what's your next choice of song?
Well, let's first talk about my musical taste. Because I'm so creative, because my parents were from the old generation, I'm a combination of everything. I want to listen to old blues. We just spoke about Billie Holiday. I like Nina Simone. This next track that I'm going to play for you is Duke Ellington, In a Sentimental Mood. And obviously, I'm not going to front. I heard it first in Love Jones, which is a movie, and it was a movie based in Chicago. Lorenz Tate and Nia Long, and they're running through the park, and Duke Ellington is playing. So that's when I first heard it. But after hearing it, then I researched it. I wanted to go hear more of it, and now it's just a nostalgic song that puts me in a romantic mood. It makes me feel loved, and so I play this anytime I want to feel that spirit.
Wonderful. Let's hear it now. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Heart Song Live. You're listening to Annette with What's on Your Plate. This morning I'm with Robert Lee Sims III. I've given him his full title. I'm really trying to tease him now. Yes, it's a grand title. So I'm going to ask you about your work and what you're doing at the moment.
Currently, at the moment, I'm assisting you, right?
No, don't
Okay,
let out all the secrets.
okay. No, I mean, but that's what I do. I'm a man of service. I'm here to help those that need help. I'm here to assist those that need assisting. Those that feel they don't have a voice, I find a way to give them a voice. And that's through visual representation. That's through technology and helping them learn new technology. There's a break. There's a separation between one generation and another generation. And those of us that know, we try to bridge the gap and assist because, like I say, the elders know the way. The youth can just get there faster.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing. But currently, I just did some photos and a journey to Ghana.
Okay. So tell us about this journey to Ghana and what it meant to you.
This was my third time visiting the continent of Africa. My first time I went to Senegal, and I was given that opportunity through someone who needed videos done. My second time I went to Morocco, and I was given that opportunity through a group that was performing, and they wanted the performance to be documented. This time, I just went by myself to do my own thing. So I had no expectations. I just wanted the spirit to guide me. And I went to Ghana because of the marketing campaign that was given to us in America, such as Beyond the Return. So there was the year of return, and now there's Beyond the Return. And this is a marketing campaign that was pushed by the Ghanaian government for tourism. A lot of what was marketed to us was parties and festivals. Me, as a man who's about culture, I wanted to find out what is the culture of Ghana. How do the people live? What do they eat? You know, just more. I wanted to feel what it would be like to be a local Ghanaian. And that's exactly what I did.
So break it down for me how you went about this. I mean, who did you meet and how did you get around?
Well, the spirit guides you. So first, I met a man by Isha Shabaka. I met him in New York City through my auntie Donna Dove in her apartment in Harlem. And he said he was building a house in Ghana and that he would give me the opportunity to stay because the house wasn't fully built. So he would say, yeah, you could just stay. So, and obviously I'm a rebel, so I know I could just thug it out anywhere, And so he was like my first point of contact. He showed me around and he stayed in a brewery Gardens, which is like 2 hours outside of Accra. So he showed me around. He took me on the chochos, which are their public transportation. Took me places, introduced me to his local people that he know. He showed me how to eat, because the food is different. Everything is different. He said, don't buy this, buy that. How to maneuver and manage. So for like maybe 2 weeks, he just showed me around his way. And then after that, I was like a butterfly, and he said, "Fly away."
But what sort of food did you eat?
Well, in Ghana,
Ghana?
they eat a lot of rice. So there's jollof rice, there's wache, there's vegetable rice, a lot of meat, a lot of goat that is being grilled. There's guinea fowl. There's a lot of fish, contumere, which is like the spinach with fish. A lot of black-eyed peas. So that's what I ate, But I also ate a lot of fruit. They have so many. The fruit is just delicious. The watermelon, the mangoes. They have some of the biggest mangoes, but only one version. They don't have multiple versions of mangoes like Trinidad would have, or even here in Barbados. They have, but the fruit is delicious. I eat a lot of tuna, a lot of oats, brown red rice. They have this local brown rice. You eat that with some tomato stew. So I ate a lot. Also, there were a lot of other places there. Like I remember this Italian place I went to called Pomona. Some of the best Italian food that I had in my life. I was like, wow, I was really surprised.
Right.
What else? There's
So there's lots of different influences
In
within
Accra, it depends
Accra.
where you go, because in Accra, Accra is being built as the African international city. So there's a lot of Lebanese there, there's Chinese there, there's everybody is going to Accra, from the international world. Then further along you go, like if you go to Cape Pando, which is in the Volta region, you're not gonna get what you're gonna get in Accra. I stayed at a place called Beaumont's, which was in Pando. And right there, you'll get fish, rice, and vegetables. Simple meal. Fish.
Is that in a compound or is that in individual houses?
Well, no,
Where did
Beaumont's
you
is
stay?
like they're gonna have everything we have as far as restaurants. They have all that. So I never went to no compound and ate any food. It was always at a restaurant or a shop on the road. Or the lady, she cooks the food in her house and then she brings it in like a tub and just
Right.
serves it. That's how the wache is served. And wache is just rice and peas. It's similar to a Jamaican dish, but they also put some type of tomato stew and this red pepper. It's delicious. The food is so delicious.
Well, it agrees with you anyway.
Yeah. I was one of the lucky ones. A lot of people go out there, they get typhoid, which is some type of disease. I was lucky enough to not get that. Some of them go over there and get malaria. I was lucky enough to not get that. I was lucky enough to eat food from local people on the road and my belly not get messed up. So I do feel blessed that I was able to experience it.
And how long were you in Ghana for?
3 months.
3 months.
I was there too long. When I had to leave, I had to pay them some money to leave.
Oh, no.
Because you only get 2 months to be there. So I was there long, and they was like, "Oh, you love it?" I was like, "Yeah, I love it. Go pay us."
Exactly. It's a good film.
But I was traveling, so I went on an exploration. I visited one of the places I told you I visited was a brewery, and that's going towards Dauda, and went to Volta region, and then I went to Cape Coast. There was a festival every 2 years. They hold a cultural festival where all the regions of Ghana come together in one place and they perform. They dress in their attire and they play their song and dance. So it was a really big festival. I had the opportunity to document that, and I'm putting together that documentary. From there, I met a tribe that was based in the Upper East region of Ghana, next to Burkina Faso, called Bogatanga. And I was amazed by this tribe because they felt so indigenous. It felt like real Africa to me.
Yeah.
So I went to go see them, and the journey was long. I'm talking 17 hours on the bus.
Right.
But it took me 24 hours because the bus broke down.
I'm sure you've got many adventures and stories to tell about Africa. So as we were saying, not only are you documenting that, how are you documenting that? When you say you're documenting it, are you writing it? Are you filming it? Are you playing the music? Or
I think it's a combination because I have written down in my journal the experiences I went through. I also took pictures and I also captured video. And that is the combination of everything that I do. And I put that all together to tell a story.
That's wonderful. Now, before we go on, tell us, how are you going to be showcasing all this work?
That's the beauty of being an artist. You have to figure it out. No one can tell you how to do anything. There's no right or wrong answer. I can just put these all on YouTube or put it all on Instagram, and boom, I've displayed the work. However, I do want to take it a level higher. So in the coming months, I'm putting together my first exhibition where I will print out a select number of my pictures that I took from my travels. I will try to print them out and blow them up as big as I possibly can, frame them nicely, and put on a real exhibition, something that would be in a museum. Because I believe in these pictures so much, and I believe they need to be displayed at the highest level.
Yes, so we can actually see the documentation of your journeys in Ghana. Okay, we're going to leave it there because when I come back, I'm going to ask you what's on your plate. But before that, we're going to go to your next choice of song.
So we did Billie Holiday, we did Duke Ellington, so that's like jazz. And now I'm going to get into a new age jazz, but hip hop. And these artists are called The Roots. They're from Philadelphia. They're an amazing band. So much soul, so much conscious. And this song that I choose is called What They Do. And the hook goes, never do what they do. So that spoke to me because where I'm from, you're not supposed to copy what everyone else does. You're supposed to do it your way. I should have played Frank Sinatra. I did it my way, but you have to do it your way. You have to express, you have to live your life for you, and don't just copy what you see. It's all right to be influenced and inspired by what someone has done, but don't believe you could do it the way they do it. You have to find a way to do it your own, and that's why I chose The Roots, Never Do.
Thank you.
Generation, fast-paced nation, world population confront their frustration. The principles of true hip-hop have been forsaken. It's all contractual and about money making. Pretend to be cats, don't seem to know their limitation. Exact replication and false representation. You wanna be a man, then stand your own. To MC requires skills, I demand some show. I let the frauds keep fronting and roam like a cellular phone far from home, giving crowds what they wantin'. Official hip-hop consumption, the fifth dumping, keeping your party jumping with an original something. Yo, I dedicate this to the one dimension now, no imagination, excuse for perpetration. My man came over and said, Joe, we thought we heard you. Jokes on you, you heard a bite and ass true, but and hatred. The game is ill-natured, it's nothing sacred. And yo, it's funny what I see some rap niggas do to make it. A few will blow up or go as far as they can take it. My 9 to 5 is just to hit you, get the party live. I'm Black Thought, used to rap for sport. Now the rhyme saying rent, paying life support. I take it very seriously. Within this industry, it's various crews that try to touch me. But I come with the beautiful things, and I bless the track plushly. Around the world, crowds love me from doing tours. Recipient of applause from all of you and yours. Creator of original sounds that's in the stores you take home to absorb and sweat it out your pores. Now who can stop the music running through these veins? Infinitely go against the grain. That's why my motto is to the life of limos and lights, airplanes and trains, short days and long nights, keyboards and mics, bass chords and drum kicks. In my mental thick, they hit my head like brick as I embark on a mission. Welcome into the dark. When I first spark the arts, when the listening start, open your head wide and let the thought inside. My style fortified by all of Philadelphia. My delf more stuff than all the wicked wealth. Mentality undetectable by the naked eye. Dig, I get paid when the record is played. To put it short, I want it made like Ed. Enough said. Then after that, I'm putting on my cousin Hamed. We let the ladies blend with the dark skin devil bread and discover my level is that of no other. And roots true reign official and true while I'm continuing to.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to What's on Your Plate. You're listening to Annette with What's on Your Plate at Heart Song Live Radio. Yes, I'm getting really, really excited because I'm actually here with Rob Sims. I'm going to make him nice and short now because Rob Lee. Now, Rob has been talking to us about his wonderful experiences in Ghana, and I'm going to just dive straight in and say to Rob, what's on your plate? Tell us, what are you doing now and what are you going to be doing in the future?
Right now, I'm in Barbados on vacation, enjoying the life. I've been swimming every day, exercising, getting this sun. This sun is different here in Barbados. So I feel like I got blacker and I love it. No, so I'm in Barbados experiencing. I go to Trinidad every year for the carnival. I went on a journey to reclaim my Caribbean heritage. I got my citizenship from Trinidad and Tobago during the pandemic. I started to build a off-grid cabin on some government land, reclaiming land, squatting, whatever you want to call me. And so that's on my plate. I continue to build my garden, develop skills that I could do with my hand. That's always on my plate. And also to continue to hone my digital skills. So I always network and find opportunities for myself because we're in a world of service. People need pictures. People need marketing materials such as videos, content. The world loves stories. We're in a story-driven world. And also societies need to, government needs to showcase that they are doing the right thing. I work for a lot of governments all across the world who want to show that, no, we're not politicians that are just corrupt. We're trying to help our society, whether it be Scotland, whether it be Jamaica, whether it be Barbados. So I work a lot within the infrastructure of each society to showcase the best of the society. What else is on my plate? As we spoke of, I'm really passionate about displaying my photos from Ghana on a high level. So this exhibition, I plan on having an exhibition at the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn, New York, which is at Brooklyn Restoration. I've been living in Brooklyn my whole life, and now that we have our own little platform here, I look forward to showcasing my talents in my neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. I also plan on editing the documentary, putting together all those stories I have from Ghana, which I have already been doing, and showcasing that too on a big screen. Hopefully at the IFC Theater, which is in West 4th. I already put connections and contacts in place. So I have a vision, I have an idea of what I want. It's just to do it in divine timing. What else am I doing? Can I speak from the heart?
Yes, please.
I'm looking for the love of my life. I'm constantly searching for a partner. And not really searching or looking. I know divine timing happens when I'm not looking. But I'm definitely putting that energy out there.
Put it out there.
Yeah, just put it out there.
You've got this opportunity, a dateline, kind of thing. Carry on, kind of thing. I don't mind. Carry on. As you say, speaking from the heart. Yeah?
Speaking from the
heart.
heart.
So if there's anyone...
Hearts on live, speaking from the heart.
Well, speaking from the heart, who are you looking for?
I want to date one of Eddie Murphy's daughter.
Oh, no.
I'm joking. I'm not joking, but I'm joking. As in, I don't know who I want to date. I want to date someone who sweeps me off my feet. I want to be smitten by a woman.
I think we're going to leave that one there, kind of thing. That's on his plate, kind of thing. But let's get back to your lovely, lovely tour of Ghana. It sounds really exciting, different sort of mediums that you're using to actually put out the information. But if people want to get hold of you or find out more information, where can they get the information from?
Google A. Rob Lee Visual. If you type A. Rob Lee Visual either in your Google search or your YouTube, or you put it on Facebook, you put it on Instagram, you will see everything come up. If you put hashtag A Rob Lee Visual all as one word, you will see everything come up. I've been pursuing this craft for over 15 years. So I've been focused on making sure my brand is recognizable.
Yeah.
And so all you have to put is A ROBLEE VISUAL and you will find me.
Wow. That sounds amazing. I better look you up. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. You've done lots of different things, as you say, over the past. You've actually traveled around, so there's lots of things out there. I'm going to also give you the opportunity again that if there's any listeners or anybody out there can help you, what do you need help with?
Thank you for this. And I would say we all need help. And I keep going back to saying I'm a man of service. So it's not about what I want or what I need, it's about what we as a community want to do together. Because I live my life differently. I don't want to do something just because I need to survive. Everything shouldn't, for me, I'm only speaking for myself. I don't want my life to be about surviving. I love experiences. I just want to experience life. So if you ask me what I want everybody from across the world to invite me to their home. I want to go to everyone. Exactly.
That is a really interesting concept.
Seriously,
yeah.
When I get to India,
Okay,
I need
okay.
somebody from India to invite
So
me.
you can couch surf around the world.
All
or
around
something
the world.
like that.
But
Okay.
couch surf and tell a story. Because even now, I want to tell a story of classism, different classes within society. Because I have the opportunity to live with everybody. Like, honestly, I can be in the lower class or people who are considered to be lower class. Then there's middle class and then obviously high class. And because I come from like a metropolitan city like New York, I feel like I easily move within all those sectors. So I love to tell the story about how society portrays these different sectors. You know, also I'm all about healing. Right now we're in a time where people need to heal. We just came from this lockdown period stage of pandemic frenzy. So people are still just now becoming confident in their abilities to go outside. People are now just being confident in their abilities to do what they want to do with themselves and not do what they have been told to do. So I think that's something that I'm curious about, is how do we spread this healing method of us just living within the moment and enjoying our life and experiencing new, building new communities, having new skills. As I said, I'm a farmer now. I'm gonna grow my own garden.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna build another house. When I was in Ghana, I learned that a lot of people still build their houses out of mud bricks. So now I want to build a house out of mud bricks and grow a garden and dig a borehole. You know, I have a lot of. I want to do everything.
Okay, there still seems to be a lot on your plate. So basically, we're going to have to wind things up at the moment. And so basically, what we're going to do here is talk about your last choice of song, or have I done it? And then say goodbye to our listeners. So,
For my last choice of song, I'm gonna play Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. If you've listened to this whole thing, I mentioned him before. So now that I have this opportunity to pick a fourth song, which is on the fly, we're gonna pick Frank Sinatra, I Did It My Way. And the title speaks for itself. I did it my way. And I love that because everywhere I go, they never met someone like me. They may have seen people that look like me, but they never met someone that speaks the way I speak, that acts the way I act, because I do it my way.
yes, you are unique. And thank you so much, Rob. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, and this has been a great opportunity for me to speak and do. I think this is my first interview,
Oh,
and
wow.
hopefully it will not be my last.
Well, yeah, indeed. When you reach your great heights in your films and everything is all out there, I'll be there again. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, But then again, too few to mention, I did what I had to do, and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got, if not himself?